So today we're going to talk about how people have been doing the live streaming where they've had votes for like, love, wow, angry, etc., and they're acting live on the screen. So people's responses are showing in polls and votes and things like that. So first of all, you're going to need a couple of bits. You're going to need the Facebook developer app. And you will need the PHP SDK, the way I'm doing it. I'm presuming if you've got this far, you've got both of those already, but I may do a tutorial on setting up the SDK and setting up a Facebook app for the first time. So this is kind of the third stage, but I'm going to assume for the sake of this video that you've got this far. So what we need next is we're going to need a script that gets the reaction data from your video. So we have this that calls the PHP SDK, which will need your app ID and the app secret. I've got those and everything else needed for this video stored in separate variables, so you can't see them for obvious reasons. So here we have the get request, which gets the reactions, and that then returns them into an array, which we saw, blah blah blah, and it returns all the likes, love, wows to our page, which then handles the results and displays them on the screen. So first off, we're going to talk about getting everything else we need. Now, your app ID and your app secret will come from your Facebook developer account for the app that you're using to do this live stream. Next, we're going to need a video ID. To get that, you're going to need your page ID. To get your page ID from your page, you can go to your page, go to the About section, scroll down to the bottom, and it will be down there. If not, there's a website you can go to. You can Google it quite easily. To just Google find my Facebook ID, and it will be the top result. You can paste the link to your page in there and it will give you your ID there. So you'll need that, so get that handy. You also need a page access token, which we are going to get from the API, the Graph API Explorer. So we'll head over to that now. Now, first thing you've got to do, you select your application. To get to the Graph API Explorer, again, just Google it, Graph API Explorer, Facebook Graph API Explorer. You should find it pretty easy. If you're a developer and you're signed in, you know, it says all your stuff up here. I've already selected my application, which is this one we'll be using. And then you'll go on to select your page. The first time you do this, it will give you a Facebook dialog to give your app permission to access your account. You tell it yes, then you'll go to select your page. You'll probably find that your pages aren't listed. You have to click on, it says page access token. You give Facebook a page access token. Again, you'll get a dialog. You have to agree to that. That'll give your app access to your individual pages. Then you select your page that you're going to be broadcasting to. So there we go. That this is the one we're going to be using. So that's that. Next, you're going to need your Facebook page ID, and I'm just going to grab that, and then we'll come back here and we're going to do a post request to live videos, just like that. So that's your page ID, and then /live_videos. This is sending a post request. Make sure it's a post as well, because we'll just get a list of your previous live videos, previous and current, of course. So then we'll hit submit. Now, the first time you do this, you may well get a error that says you don't have permission. It will say about the manage pages and publish pages permission. So what you need to do if that occurs, go back up to this drop down, and then you'll click request publish pages. Again, you'll get a Facebook dialog that just confirms that's what you want to do and you want to share that information with your app. And obviously that is, so we do that and then send your post request again, and you should get something that looks like this. Now this is your ID, we'll be needing that. We'll also be needing this. This is your stream URL up to the RTMP, and then after that, that is your live stream key. That's quite important going forward. So now we've got this. This is our live video ID, so we will need that, and that will be going here. Here in my case, I've got it saved as a separate variable. You can put it straight in there if you want. I don't recommend putting a page access token in there because that is just incredibly long. Your page access token, once you've selected from the two drop downs here and here, this is your page access token. So you'll copy that. That is your page access variable. I'm not going to select that and copy it because I don't want you seeing the whole thing for security reasons. So we have page access token and your video ID covered, your app ID and your app secret covered. Now the next thing we want to do, once all that is in and done, we're talking about the GET request. So we have the GET request there, so that uses the video ID. So if we go back to the API Explorer, I can show you now that we've got this. This is your live video ID. So if we was to ask for reactions, for example, then we'd get some data. Now, when you've got likes, loves, all the rest of it, they'll show up here. In our code, we are filtering that. We just want the field as type. We don't care who it is that's liking. We don't need any other information from the user. Which if you wanted to, you could do. You could get their name, for example. But in this case, we're not interested in that. All we want is with what they've done. So, and the limit is an important one. I've just noticed we've got fields on there twice, so we don't need that. So we've got a limit of 10,000, and in my very first live stream, everything was going fine until all of a sudden I noticed that the likes were no longer going up, and they sort of seemed to be jumping down and up and all sorts. And it turned out it was because there's a default limit of 25, so it will only record the last 25 reactions. So the last few videos I've used a limit of 2,000, which should be ample for how, depending on how big you're going with it. I've now changed it to 10,000, and hopefully my next live stream that I do will need those 10,000. So that is basically that covered. There's this section, so this code that we've got here, this gets called every 5 seconds for an AJAX request from our page that the user effectively is going to see. And then it filters the results, splits them up, returns them in an array, and then we use that information to display the reactions to the user. So we've got this far. Now, talking about setting your live stream going, we'll go over to OBS Studio. This is called Open Broadcasting Studio. It's free, so there's absolutely no problem with that. Now, here you can set up your scenes. So you'll set up a scene as a monitor, which this is actually the screen that my second monitor. So if I was to turn this on, we'd get an infinite loop. I'll do it quickly. Bang, infinite loop, because it's looking at the same screen. So this, I have this set up on the second monitor, so it can actually carry on running my live stream, and I can carry on using the computer without having to worry too much about it, unless something pops up that shouldn't. So when we are in here, the thing we need to do is go into settings. Now this is where we will set up our stream, so we'll go to stream. Now you'll go to it'll start off as custom streaming server. You can put the URL in if you want. That's how I used to do it, and then the stream key. But nowadays they have the Facebook Live service listed. So if you select that, then you'll put your stream key in there. Now the stream key, just to reiterate, is the key we got. Now just putting up the data there. If you do lose it, you can use the live video ID to get your data back using the GET request. If you completely lose that, you can send a GET request just to your page ID /live_videos. That will bring up all your current live videos, all your finished ones, everything from, you know, all of that. So what we need here is this stream ID. So we'll take that and bung that into here. So stream key, just hit show. We don't want a comma and speech mark at the end. So that is our stream key. So that will work. So basically now we are all set to go. All we would have to do is hit start streaming, and it would stream whatever is currently on this screen right now, which is itself at the moment, which will just create an infinite loop. So we don't want to do that, but that is literally ready to go. Now if we want to talk about how it is then getting processed, this is my final screen basically. It was a vote that I've used, the second live stream test I did, using a couple of drift cars, and you pick your favourite. So it uses a couple of animated GIFs here which are on loop, and these zeros are actually where the live data gets fed in. So after the Ajax call, after it's sorted, it will throw the likes in here, the hearts in here, and that's it, it counts up. I've done other ones that are using graphs, bar graphs, so the more votes it gets, the higher it goes up, and it levels everything else out, and I've used all 5 options. This particular one is just a simple like, love, there we go. So that is more or less it. I can talk through the workings of building this page. If you want, then hit the likes, hit me up in the comments. I'll answer as many questions as I can about it, but hopefully this will get you going. If there's enough call for people wanting a better video describing how to do the process of making a Facebook developer account and making an app, and then installing PHP SDK on the server, then I'm happy to help do that as well. So yeah, just give us a shout and I will try and answer the best I can.